A man
Let's
say
do that
like
right now.
that. That ain't right.
All right, after leading Jackson State 3 straight seasons, Deion Sanders is moving on to become Colorado's next head coach. Colorado hopes to find success under primetime as they have had only 2 winning seasons since 2005, including losing seasons in 5 of the past 6 years. Deion has some big plans for the Pac-12 team. Take a listen.
We're going to have one of the best coaching staffs assembled, some of the best scouts, some of the best kids that we're recruiting, and commitments already coming on the way as I speak. And now that I've gotten here and I see it, and I understand it, Rick, and I can grasp it, and I can touch it, and I can feel it, and I can taste it, I truly understand what you want. All you want is an opportunity to win, to compete, to dominate, to be amongst the elite, to be amongst the best. And darn it, I'm going to give you that.
Are you not inspired? Because I'm inspired right there. Stephen, I know you've been following this story closely. Are you surprised that Primetime took this job?
A little bit. I personally am appalled that Auburn didn't hire Primetime Deion Sanders, because I would have loved to have seen him in the SEC.
You know, there's only been, I think, 4 black coaches in the SEC ever.
Yes. Okay. Yes. And that perturbs me. But I will tell you that Colorado, obviously, Deion's going to succeed. There's nowhere to go but up. Mm-hmm. They're 1-11 this year. All right, they were awful, and they are awful. That's going to change. That changed immediately, rather, the second they signed this man, because I know how passionate Deion is. I know how much he loves to coach. I know how much he cares about the kids, and I know he can recruit his tail off. So when you think about the Pac-12 and its future, particularly with USC and UCLA scheduled to depart, I think that you take that into consideration, and the sky's the limit. I would have preferred to see him in the SEC or Florida State. I know Florida State had a good year, and I said that to you last week, Paul. But to me, I think they're gonna rue the day. Florida State, where he starred, where he was an All-American. I think they're gonna rue the day when they didn't bring him in as the coach of the Florida State Seminoles. Well, I would love to have seen him in the SEC, because I think it's the best conference of football. But Florida State is where Primetime belongs. The fact that they passed on him, they will rue the day. You mark my words. They're going to regret not hiring that man. I don't give a damn what type of year they had this year. They're going to regret not bringing that man on board. I think he's going to do a good job at Colorado, because I think that he's a great coach. He's a great recruiter, and he's a magnetic force for young men to want to come play for.
Stephen, I completely agree. And I like you, I was a little queasy about this choice, but when I saw him yesterday, I realized this is a great place, and he is going to make a difference. This is a seminal moment in college football, that some athletic director finally took a chance, showed some guts, and brought in a man that is going to transform that university and is going to energize a fan base that has been comatose for nearly a quarter of a century. And your point is also very strong about these other schools. What do most athletic directors do? They go into the yellow pages. They hire the usual suspects. They bring in retreads. They bring in guys who fell off and have been rehabilitated. That's not what Colorado did. They went out and hired somebody that can completely change the culture. And I think he's already done that in 24 hours, and will lift this program up. I'm almost in tears when I saw what he said yesterday, because I don't hear any coaches talking like that. All I hear is the usual changing of this and changing of that, and hitting the portal and hitting recruiting. Deion Sanders is a difference maker, and I'm just glad that a program that used to be important in college football understood that, recognized that, and made this decision.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.